Long ago, Hamelin was one of the country's loveliest towns. Its busy market overflowed with bread, fruit, cloth, and laughter. Freshly painted houses lined clean streets bright with flowers. People proudly told visitors no town was happier than Hamelin. But beneath those cheerful streets, something terrible was happening. Rats had entered Hamelin in numbers no one could count. They raced through kitchens and scattered food across the floor. They tore open grain sacks inside crowded town storerooms. Shopkeepers awoke each morning to find their goods destroyed. At night, rats crept into bedrooms and across sleeping beds. Nothing in the shops or homes seemed safe anymore. Families sat awake by candlelight, too frightened to sleep. Every trap failed. The rats simply slipped around it. Every new plan failed just as badly as the last. Soon, the people of Hamelin were exhausted and desperate. One evening, the mayor argued loudly with his council. Then the town hall doors opened, and a stranger entered. He was tall and thin, wearing a many-colored coat. In one hand, he carried a small silver pipe. "I can rid Hamelin of every rat," he said calmly. The mayor stared at him, suspicious but suddenly hopeful. "Every rat?" he asked, leaning across the council table. "Everyone," the stranger answered without the slightest hesitation. The room fell silent as everyone studied his unreadable face. "And what do you want in return?" asked the mayor. 1,000 gold coins, the stranger replied in a steady voice. The councilmen gathered close and whispered among themselves. It was a great sum, but fear made them generous. "Do it," the mayor declared. "You will be paid." At sunrise, the stranger stood alone in the town square. He slowly raised the silver pipe to his lips. A strange melody drifted through Hamelin's narrow streets. At first, nothing happened beneath the quiet morning light. Then one rat appeared beside a dark street drain. Then 10 more gathered, all listening to the music. Suddenly, hundreds poured from every corner of Hamelin. They rushed from cellars, barns, kitchens, drains, and chimneys. The people watched silently from behind windows and shutters. The piper walked slowly forward, never missing a note. Behind him flowed a dark, moving river of rats. He led the enormous swarm beyond Hamelin's town gate, then down a winding road toward the nearby river. Still following the melody, the rats entered the water. One after another, they vanished beneath the flowing current. Hamelin was saved. Not a single rat remained. Bells rang, people cheered, and families danced in the streets. That afternoon, the piper returned to the town hall. He stood before the mayor. "My payment," he said. The mayor smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. 1,000 coins for playing a little tune?" he mocked. The council members laughed, delighted by their own dishonesty. The mayor offered 50 coins and ordered him to leave. "You gave me your word," the piper said quietly. "Be grateful for anything," the mayor answered with a sneer. "A promise has a price. So does breaking one." The piper turned and walked away without another word. Next morning, while adults gathered inside the church, music returned. This melody was softer, warmer, and strangely difficult to resist. The children of Hamelin heard it and entered the street. One by one, they gathered around the mysterious piper. Smiling and dancing, they followed him without fear. He led the joyful procession through the open town gate. Then the adults emerged and found the streets strangely empty. Parents ran from house to house, calling their children's names. The mayor rushed toward the gate, finally understanding the warning. High above Hamelin, the piper reached a mountain path. A hidden doorway opened in the rock, glowing with golden light. The children followed the music inside, one after another. Then the doorway closed, leaving only silent stone behind. One child who had fallen behind returned alone to Hamelin. The townspeople searched the hills for days, then for weeks. But the children were never found, and Hamelin's laughter was gone.